said, addressing everyone in the showroom, while we wait for my son and the news team, perhaps we should talk about what real customer service looks like. After 45 years of teaching, I find that every difficult moment can be turned into a valuable lesson. The sound of sirens in the distance told her that this lesson was about to reach a much bigger classroom than she had originally planned. Within 30 minutes, the quiet luxury car dealership had transformed into a scene of intense activity. Two local news vans were parked outside, their cameras rolling. Jamie Williams Jr., wearing a sharp business suit, stood protectively next to his mother. Social media was exploding with the story, and something unexpected was happening. People were coming forward with their own stories. M. Williams, a reporter from Channel 5, held out her microphone. Our station has received dozens of calls in the last hour. Many people say they know you. Could you tell us about your background? Dolores smoothed her navy suit and spoke clearly, just as she had done in front of countless classrooms. I spent 45 years teaching mathematics at Benito Juarez High School, but before that, in 1963, I was one of 5 black teachers chosen to integrate the city's school system. The reporter's eyes widened. You're that Dolores Hernandez? Jamie smiled proudly at his mother as she continued, yes, I am. Back then, many people didn't think I belonged in that school, just like today some people didn't think I belonged in the dealership, but I knew my worth then, and I know it now. More people were gathering outside. Among them was Mayor Thompson, who had heard about the incident and rushed over. He pushed through the crowd and entered the showroom. Dolores, he called out warmly, I can't believe this. You taught both my children calculus. He turned to the cameras. This woman changed our city's education system when others said that inner city students could handle advanced mathematics. Ms. Williams proved them wrong. Her students have become doctors, engineers, and yes, even mayors. Mr. Bennett, who had been on the phone with his corporate office, looked increasingly uncomfortable. The story was growing bigger than a simple case of poor customer service. Dorothy Williams wasn't just any 80-year-old customer. She was a living piece of the city's civil rights history. A woman in her 40s pushed through the crowd. Miss Williams, do you remember me? Maria Rodriguez, you tutored me after school for an entire year. I'm a mathematics professor now at the university. More former students began sharing their stories with the reporters. One was a bank president, another owned a successful tech company, a third was a famous research scientist. All of them credited Dolores Hernandez with changing their lives. The young intern who had recorded everything was busy posting updates online. The video has gone viral, she announced, over 100,000 views in just 20 minutes. People are sharing their own Ms. Williams stories with a #digity and respect. Jamie checked his phone and smiled. Mom, your story just got picked up by national news. They're calling you the teacher who taught another lesson at 80. Dorothy stood quietly in the middle of it all, watching as her simple plan to buy a car had turned into something much more meaningful. She saw Mr. Bennett reading messages on his phone, his face growing more concerned by the minute. The corporate office had seen the viral videos and was sending representatives immediately. Miss Williams, Mr. Bennett said desperately, please let us make this right. We'll give you any car on the lot at cost. Will? Dorothy raised her hand, silencing him just as she used to quiet her classroom. Mr. Bennett, this isn't about getting a discount. This is about dignity. This is about respect. This is about all the people who face discrimination but don't have a viral video to help them be heard. The mayor nodded in agreement. Darth's right. This isn't just about one incident. This is about how we treat all members of our community. More former students continue to arrive, each with their own story about how Ms. Williams had taught them more than just mathematics. She had taught them about dignity, perseverance, and standing up for what was right. Dolores looked around at all the faces, her former students, the news cameras, the shocked dealership staff, and her proud son. She thought about the young people watching this unfold on their phones and computers. Once again, she found herself in front of a classroom, though much larger than any she taught in before. The lesson wasn't over yet. In fact, it was just beginning to reach its most important part, the part where real change could happen. By evening, the Silver Star Luxury Motors showroom had become the center of a storm that no one had expected. The corporate team from Mercedes-Benz headquarters had arrived in 3 black SUVs, their faces serious as they entered the dealership. Leading them was Sarah Chen, the regional vice president, who had canceled 3 meetings to handle this situation personally. Miss Williams, Sarah said, walking directly to Dolores and extending her hand, I watched the videos on my way here. I don't have words to Express how deeply sorry we are for how you were treated today. Dorothy shook her hand firmly. The showroom was now filled with important people, corporate executives, local news teams, city officials, and many of Dolores's former students who had refused to leave until they saw justice done. Jamie stood beside his mother reviewing documents on his tablet. Sarah Chin turned to face the cameras, knowing this moment would be watched by millions. Effective immediately, we making several changes, she announced. First, Mr. Thompson has been terminated from his position. Brad, the dismissive sales, had already cleaned out his desk and left through the back door. She continued, Mr. Bennett will be required to step down as general manager and undergo comprehensive sensitivity training before being considered for any future management positions. Mr. Bennett stood in the corner, his earlier confidence completely gone. But that's not enough, Sarah added. This incident has shown us a serious problem in our corporate culture. Therefore, we are announcing a new initiative. She looked at DTH with genuine respect. Miss Williams, would you consider helping us create a training program for all our dealerships nationwide? The room fell silent, waiting for Dolores's response. She thought carefully before speaking, just as she had done countless times in her classroom when students asked important questions. Miss Chin, Dorothy replied, I spent 45 years teaching young people that mathematics wasn't just about numbers, it was about logical thinking and solving real-world problems.